Yeah! Yes! What's up, you motherfuckers? Peter Gilmore here with another video right here on Killer Wolf Demon 669 with Ultimate Power. That's right. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and subscribe to my other channels. All the links down below. Follow me on Twitter at Gilmore Inc. and friend me on Facebook. Thank you all for watching this video. Hope everybody had a great Christmas and getting ready for the new year. As a lot of noise outside the street. Okay. Whatever, I don't care. But anyway, what I want to do in this video, as the title below says, every Monday night around this time, or a little later, every Monday night, it is time for your late night Monday night Raw review for December 29th, 2014, the final Raw of 2014, live from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And I have to say, we've been saying that the last few weeks of Raw sucked. You know, we had the Laptop as the GM, Jericho as the GM, Seth Green as the GM, and tonight we had Edge and Christian as GM, and they put on well, it was a pretty decent show. I mean, it started off hot, once again dipped down. You know, the rest of the show was corny, was bleh. You know, we had new champions. I'll get to that in a minute. We had the debut of the Ascension, which wasn't much of a debut, but I'll get to that later. We had Daniel Bryan, yes, make his announcement, and we had a good, well, it was, I would say, a great ending. So, all in all, it was a pretty decent show. You know, it sucked, and then it picked up right near the end. I would say the last half hour was pretty good. So we start the show off with a video showing Edge's retirement from WWE 3 years ago on April 11th, 2011, when he came out and relinquished the then World Heavyweight title, as he had neck surgery after he won at WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 27. He came out, he retired, he relinquished the belt, and basically, retired and went on to do Haven and went to the Hall of Fame. That's all. The rest is history. And will that be happening to Daniel Bryan tonight? We'll see what happens. So we start the show with Edge and Christian. They come out to a decent pop, and the crowd. Let me say something. The DC crowd was fucking dead as a doornail tonight. What happened? I know there was another show. I forgot where it was. I think it was they had the Hershey, Pennsylvania show. I think it was in. I don't think it was Philly. It was somewhere, I think, around the DC area. I mean, the roster was like split. You know, they only had the major guys there. They didn't have no Dean Ambrose. You know, Bray Wyatt was there and he cut a promo in an ambulance. So I'll get to that later. I mean, you had Cena and you had Ryback and you had all the major guys, Big Show, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, stuff like that. But the crowd is fucking dead. What happened? You know, it was so bad. I thought they were gonna have the crowd be piped in. I don't know. So Edge and Christian comes out. Christian says he's happy to be in the ring for the last Raw of 2004, and he wants to send it off with a bang, Edge and Christian style. And he says that tonight we're gonna get the peep show. And it's gonna rule. And he says his guest is, and then Edge interrupts, and then Edge's like, well, I don't want the peep show. I want it to be the cutting edge, because it's a better show. So they go back and forth, and they say some stupid pervert shit. And Edge says that the peep show is something that perverts liked in the 1940s. And he says he wants to show the fans why they went to the top 7 times as a tag team, and why they're the best tag team in history. Okay, that's debatable, but I digress. Then he wants to do the first ever cutting edge peep show. So, you know, if he asks the fans if they want it, and that's what they're gonna get. And his guest is Seth Rollins. The fans start booing, and then Edge puts Seth Rollins in a match later tonight with Roman Reigns. Interesting. So Christian tries to one-up him, and he puts Alexander Rusev in a champion versus champion match with Dolph Ziggler. That should be a pretty good match, and it actually was. And then Christian's like, and they're gonna be in the ring naked. No. And then Edge's like, nah, I don't think that's gonna work. And Christian's like, Lana? That'll work. You know, seeing Lana. Yes, I like to crush her. But I think that's better. Then Christian takes a poll, and he asks fans if they want to see Daniel Bryan. So the fans are like, yes, yes, yes. And if you can't hear me, open up noise. Fight. Thank you. So, you know, fans start popping, and then Christian says that Bryan will address the fans later tonight with his big announcement. And then Edge and Christian are about to do, for those of you with the benefit of flash photography, and they're about to do his 5-second pose, and then we hear the music of Brock Lesnar as he comes out, and he wonders, and Heyman comes out, he gets on the mic, he says, my name is Paul Heyman, cheap plug, and he wonders why Edge and Christian will swim in the waters that Brock is in, and then he dares them to make a move on Brock, and Brock will basically freaking end their careers and put them in a retirement home. But I digress. And then he says that they can't because one bad move and they'll be in a wheelchair forever. But he assures them that Brock has no desire to end their careers, and Heyman says that Brock is a conqueror and he wants to penetrate the virgin neck of Cena. Suck. Excuse me for a second. Shut up! I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, over the noise outside my studio. I need a bigger studio with a soundproof. I need a soundproof studio. You know, and I probably could afford it, unlike somebody we know, but I won't mention his name. Show Entertainment. Sky, I got a big call. So Heyman says at the Rumble, and then we hear the John Cena sucks! His crappy music comes out, and I was like, ugh. Cena comes out to bore the segment. So we hear the fans, you know, doing the dueling chant. And then Cena says that he won't kick Brock's ass tonight because he doesn't want Brock to limp into the Rumble and have an excuse. Yeah. Then he says he has a New Year's resolution for Brock, and he says he's going to take the title off of him at the Royal Rumble. And his gift is to Paul Heyman. So he tries to go after Heyman, and Brock tries to save him, but Cena grabs him, tries to go for the AA, but Brock wiggles his way out, and he leaves the ring. So it was an okay segment. You know, Cena has to kill it once again, but I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Alright. Match number 1. Champion versus champion match, Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. This was a good match. The ending fucking sucked. It was going good until the ending. But Rusev was beating up on Dolph. Dolph tried to fight back. Rusev would just stop his momentum. And then Dolph comes back with a nice drop kick, knocking the Russian down. Oh, I forgot to do Alexander Rusev. Rusev smashes on the pussy. Yeah! Sorry. I forgot for all you people that want me to do the impression. I'm sorry. It was late, but whatever. So, Dolph comes back with the drop kick. He tries to go for the 10 punches in the corner, but Rusev kept pushing him off. Then Dolph hits the Famouser for like a very near fall of about 2 9/10. Oof, that was close. Because Rusev hasn't been pinned or submitted yet. Kind of like Mark Briscoe. Not Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe in Ring of Honor. Then Rusev comes back with a throat chop. Well, you know, hits the throat. He tries for the thrust kick, but Dolph comes back and he tries to go for the super kick, but Rusev blocked it. But then Dolph comes back, hits the super kick for another near fall. Dolph tried for the zigzag, not once, but twice, but Rusev blocked it. And then he goes after the bad leg of Dolph. You know, Dolph, I believe, hurt his leg last week in that match with Luke Harper. Then he throws Dolph into the steel post, and then he starts beating up on Dolph in the corner, starts stomping a mud hole on him, Stone Cold Steve Austin style. And I get more freaking thing. I'm gonna do the video. I don't care about the idiots outside my studio making lots of noise. I don't really give a fuck about them. They can go fuck themselves, but I care less. Anyway, so Rusev continues to kick Dolph in the corner. The referee tries to break it up, but Rusev's like, fuck you, and then he just kicks him. The referee has no other choice but to DQ Rusev. Like I said, that pissed me off. I wanted to see a winner out of this one. You know, but it was still a good match. I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Bless you, Suzu. Even with the bad ending. Afterwards, Rusev goes after Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler's on the ropes, and Rusev locks in the Accolade in the ropes. Ow! That's gonna hurt. And then we hear the music of Ryback. Feed me more! You know, so he comes out, they start going at it, then Ryback hits the meat hook clothesline, and then Rusev retreats, hyping up their U.S. title match at the Royal Rumble, which most likely will be announced probably next week or soon, probably on the stupid network. You know, but there's noise outside my studio. I'm trying to do something. Idiots. So, you know, like I said, it's gonna lead into the U.S. title match, most likely at the Royal Rumble. I think they'll probably be in the Royal Rumble itself, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so I gave the Aftermath 3 out of 5 stars. Alright. Then Mitchell Cole, JBL, and Jerry King Lawler talk about the stupid network when they're showing rivalries, the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian, that whole big rivalry. That should be exciting if you want to watch it on the network for that low price of $9.99. Exactly. Shut up! God. So anyway, we find out that Miz and Sandow are going to defend the tag team titles against the Usos later. Boring. So we go to commercial, we come back, Ryback is still in the ring, and he cuts a shoot promo, basically talking about his life, which went 10 minutes, bored the fuck out of me. What was the point? He talks about his debut, saying there was a misunderstanding between him and the fans, and he talks about his first live event was as a kid in Las Vegas, where he was a guest bell ringer. Nobody gives a fuck. He says all he wanted to be was a WWE superstar, like most of us want to be WWE superstars, but we'll never be. Kind of like Sean's Entertainment wants to be a WWE wrestler. I hope he does become a WWE wrestler and gets his ass handed to him, but that's my opinion. Then he talks about how in 2004 when he was known as Ryan Reeves, he lost the $1 million Toughen Up contest or whatever it was called. Where it had the Miz in it, and they had with himself and I think 2 other guys I don't even recognize anymore. So we see the video of that. He says he never talked to his family for over a year. I don't know why. He says he worked at some barbecue joint and he was all depressed. He came home to an empty apartment and all he had was WWE DVDs and some toys. Then he says he saw a book about positivity called The Secret, which changed his life, and then he got re-signed by the WWE. And remember, we was in the Nexus when they destroyed Cena, and Daniel Bryan was there, and that's how Bryan got. Remember what happened when the Nexus destroyed Cena and they took over Raw? The night that Dan Bryan got fired for choking out Justin Roberts. And where is he now? Yeah. He says he was on top of the world until he broke his ankle in 3 places. But then he kept wrestling, and then he broke his leg. That's how he was out for a while, and he came back, remember? Then he shows this little scar that he got from the surgery, and he says he's very lucky to be in the WWE ring. He mentions having 2 bad surgeries, and doctors tell me he'll never wrestle again. But he came back as Ryback, feed me more. And we see videos showing of that, all his domination against jobbers, and I think I saw Del Rio in it. You can't show that. That was another thing that pissed me off. I was like, wait a minute, is this Ring of Honor? I forgot what it was. It totally slipped my mind. It's getting freaking hot in here. I'm sorry. He finally gets to Rusev, and he says it's not a USA versus Rusev thing, and he says he's gonna kick Rusev's ass, and he says he takes negativity and eats it up and turns it into positives. And he says sees negativity and says, feed me more. So the segment was kind of long, boring. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Was what it was. All right, match number 2: Natalya versus Brie. A rematch. Nikki this time. I thought it was Brie, but we can't tell apart. If you want to tell the Bella Twins apart, just look at Nikki. Nikki's the one with the big, ginormous fake tits, and Brie is just that chick married to Daniel Bryan. That's the easiest way to tell the Bella Twins apart. That's just me. So this match was boring. They start going at it, and Natalya was in control. She sends Nikki to the floor, where Tyson catches her, and did you notice them smiling? Yep. Nikki wants the Canadian D. Sorry, John. There's a new guy in town. So Natalya gets all pissed, and Brie kind of does too. I don't know why, but whatever. Then Nikki gains control after the distraction from Tyson Kidd, and she hits the forearm punch that leads into the rack attack for the win. Was what it was. I know it's leaning to Nikki versus Natalya, and I think Natalya's gonna win the Divas title, and nobody's gonna give a flying fuck until Charlotte gets on the main roster, which will probably be by WrestleMania time. Well, actually, until AJ comes back, I should say, because she's taking a little time off for her injury. She doesn't have an injury, you idiots. She's just taking some time off to be with hubby, Mr. Phil Brooks. Get some more D, if you know what I mean. So, I think when AJ comes back, she's gonna beat Natalya, get the Divas title back, and hold it for like a few months, and that's it until Charlotte comes back. Charlotte comes to the main roster, but that's just me. So I gave that match 2 out of 5 stars. It was what it was. All right, then we see The Miz and Damien Sandow in the back, and they're talking about their New Year's plans, I guess. And then Naomi comes in. He's like, "Yay, Miz! Yay, you're my best friend, Miz!" I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is happening here? She hugs The Miz and thanks him for getting her a deal with her producer. Says that, I talked to your producer, and he says he wants to work with me on some projects. That's nice, and I don't give a shit. Then she says Miz took a lot of crap from Jimmy, her husband, and thanks him for all the help he's done, and she wishes him luck in their match. So Miz is like, what? And I thought about it, and I'll talk about it after I review this match. Match number 3 for the tag titles. The Usos taking on Miz and Sandow. This was just boring. The crowd was dead, and then it got good, and the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." I'm like, nope, not even close. The Usos were in control, and Miz comes back. He teases Sandow coming in. He's not going to do that, setting up, the eventual end of Miz and Sandow. Probably at WrestleMania time. But then Jay gets the hot tag, rips apart the Miz. He tries to go for the Rikishi butt splash in the corner, but he gets rolled up for 2. But Jay hits an enziguri, then the flying Uso onto Miz and Sandow on the floor, and Sandow's like, whoa! He's funny. But Miz comes back, chopping the leg of Jimmy Uso, who got tagged in, and hits a snap DDT. And then Miz tries to go for the figure 4, but it's countered. And here's Rosa. Say hi, Rosa.
Ew, it's hot in here. Do you need clothes?
It is.
I'm gonna leave this open.
You just came into the room, that's why it's hot.
Do you need clothes?
I'll put them away later.
Do you need clothes?
Not right now. Go away. By the way, say hi to your fans.
No.
No. She has no fans. That's why she says no. Can you close the door?
No, because you won't get any air. You wanna die?
So what? I cannot die. I am immortal. Aha. So, where was I? Miz eventually locked in the figure 4 on Jimmy Uso, but Jimmy got the ropes. Miz tried again, but Jimmy gets a roll up that's rolled through. He locks in a half crab, but Miz now, finally does something, and he saves the Miz from losing the tag titles. And then Miz now eats a super kick as Miz pushed him right into the super kick. And Miz almost steals the win via a roll up. He tries to go for the skull crushing finale. That's counted into a super kick. And then Jay comes in. He tries to go for the Superfly Splash, but that gets countered as Miz gets the knees up. Then he hits the skull crushing finale. I thought that was it. I was like, oh, the chance retained, but no. Jay kicks out at 2.5, and the crowd's like, 1, 2. What? And then Miz tries again for the skull crushing finale, but Jay fights out. He gets a tag to Jimmy. They hit a double. Jimmy hits a super kick, and then both Usos hit a super kick. So it was a super kick party for the Usos. Not as great as the Young Bucks, but it is what it is. So Jimmy then goes up, hits a Superfly Splash from almost 3/4 of the ring, and landed on Miz's nutsack almost. Jeez. So they win the titles again for the 3rd time. Whoop-de-freak-de-damn do. Match was okay. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Afterwards, Jerry the King Lawler comes in and congratulates the champions and asks them how it feels to end 2014 as the champs, because they had a great year. I would say an okay year. I mean, they were tag team of the year. But I digress. And they say it feels good. It was the year of the Usos, as Naomi was in the ring as well. And they're going to celebrate. They invite the King to their party. King's like, okay, I'll come if you come. Then King talks about Jimmy and Naomi not being on the same page. But Jimmy says that he and his brother, they argue, but he still loves him like a brother, and he loves his wife. And they're all on the same page, and they played The Miz like a fiddle. So I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. And during that segment, I was hoping for the Ascension to come out. But did they? No! WWE logic for you. They hyped the Ascension, and I kept saying for months that the Ascension was going to come in when the Usos would win back the tag team titles and attack them right after they won back the titles or whatever. But did they? No. See, I should be the booker for this fucking company. But I digress. Alright, from there, the announcers talk about Bryan's announcement, and they think it's, Jerry King Lawler thinks it's going to be the retirement. Then they talk about Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns coming up later, and we go to a video of the Shield's dominance, and then Seth's heel turn way back when. And then it shows Roman trying to get back at Seth, and what happened there. Before, I think it was before Roman went into the hospital with his hernia issue, and that's why he was out for a couple months. So, that's matches coming up. Alright, then we get in the ring, we see Cesaro with his professional t-shirt, and he kind of cuts a shoot promo saying that 2014 should have been his year. He mentions winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania, and he says now the naysayers and the guys in the back say he doesn't connect with the crowd, but he doesn't care if he doesn't connect with the fans. I guess that's why Vince said he doesn't have the it factor. Whatever. He says he doesn't care about fancy pyro and entrances. If you watch that video where he said cut the music or something like that, cut this corny music off. His theme song sucks. I have to say. Just give him the Kings of Wrestling theme. That's all I say. But I don't think they can do that now because Chris Hero's not there, and he's just gaining weight at a rapid rate. But I digress. And so Cesaro says all he cares about is what he does in the ring, and he says there is nobody in the WWE can match him, and he challenges anybody in the back to prove him wrong. And then we hear the music of bad news, Wade Barrett, and I'm afraid I got some bad news. For all you who can't do my impression. Haha. So I marked out for Bad News Barrett's comeback. I knew, he came back I think at the MSG House show or the one in Chicago. Oh wait, was it? I think it was the one in Chicago. So that was nice, kind of ruined it, but whatever. So he comes back. So he gets on the mic. He says, "I'm afraid I got some bad news for you, Swiss boy." Well, he didn't say that, but he has some bad news for Cesaro. And he says, "You cannot connect with the fans, but I'm gonna connect with your face with the boom bullhammer." So we get to match number 4. Bad News Barrett against Cesaro. And what else is new with Cesaro? They put him in a new tag team called the Masters of the Universe with Tyson Kidd. Oh, I wonder where they got that name from. I guess both of them were playing with He-Man and Skeletor figures. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I digress. So this is basically it was a pretty good match. It went back and forth. Barry was in control, and then Cesaro comes back on the outside, hitting some uppercuts. He hits a nice accidental smash off the top for 2. He hits some crossfaces a la Taz. I guess he learned that from Taz. Then he targets the bad shoulder being Barrett. Barrett had the injured shoulder. He was out for like 6 to 7 months or something like that. But Barrett comes back. He gets a kick to the head for a 2 count. He tries to go for a wasteland, but that's countered. As Cesaro does a move that we haven't seen in a while, the Giant Swing of Doom, and he only went 5 revolutions. Because I guess Cesaro can't do it anymore. I don't know. And then Cesaro locks in a Boston Crab, but Barrett gets the ropes really quickly. And then, the referee's checking on him, and Barrett pokes the eyes of Cesaro, and Cesaro's blinded, and as Barrett gets up, he rearranges his elbow pad. Boom! Bullhammer for the win. So it was what it was. It was an okay match, but I'm glad to see Barrett back. Maybe the main roster can actually get somewhere now, because they lost freaking Punk. Bryan is out, or so we think. But it's glad to see him back, and I hope they give him a nice push to either the U.S. title or the IC title. I think now that he's a face, he'll probably go after the U.S. title. I don't think he should be the one to kill Rusev's undefeated streak, but we'll see. Maybe he'll put him in the main event picture too. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. So I gave the match 3 out of 5 stars. Then we get a Luke Harper promo. It was kind of creepy. He says that people celebrate New Year's Eve while he gets pushed to the side like trash. He says he's a social pariah and a nightmare come to life. Then he looks with his eyes like, "Sweet dreams." I was like, wait a minute, is this a Freddy Krueger promo? Oh, scared the shit out of me for a moment. But it was what it was. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get another Ascension vignette. Their debut's coming, and they'll probably face some jobber tag team like the New Day or Los Matadores. But we'll see what happens. Alright, match number 5, Jack Swagger, We the People, taking on Luke Harper. This match was boring. But it was a pretty much back and forth match. Swagger tried for the Patriot Lock. Harper rolled through and hits a sick looking super kick for 2. And then Swagger locks in the Patriot Lock out of nowhere as Harper was trying to get up. But Harper got the ropes. Swagger tries for a Swagger Bomb. That gets countered by Harper. And Harper then hits the Discus Clothesline from Hell. I don't know if he has an actual name for it, but I'm going to call it the Discus Clothesline from Hell. For the win. So, Harper gains a little bit of momentum, after his tough loss last week against Dolph Ziggler in that great rematch that they had from TLC. So, I think Harper will probably be in the Royal Rumble. I think he'll have a good showing, but, we'll see. So, I give the match 2.25 out of 5 stars. It wasn't great, but it was what it was. Alright, then we see the Cena-Brock segment shown again, and that leads to Cena talking with Edge and Christian about the past, "Oh, remember when I kicked your ass back in 2010? So they're reminiscing, and Christian's trying to, be the third wheel, if you will. Then they talk about old times. Christian tries to chime in, then he leaves because he's like, yeah, get out. Then Cena remembers the past and says they never got a chance but they left their lives out in the ring and became the best that they are, I guess. Then Cena says Edge has earned his respect, and they shake hands. I guess that's okay. Then he tells Edge to be careful out in the ring. You know, later with his cutting edge peep show thing with Seth Rollins. So we'll see what happens later on with that. So I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, match number 6, Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins with Big Show on commentary. Holy shit, was Big Show funny! He was bashing Michael Cole to death. I was loving it. I was like, you know, he was saying, it's like, you better shut up, Michael Cole. I'm gonna punch you out. And Jay was like, please do it, please do it. And I was like, yes, do it. But, you know, it was funny. So anyway, getting to the match, it was a pretty damn good match between Roman and Seth. Pretty back and forth, you know, lots of counters, you know, Roman, was in control to start, and Seth came back, and was in control for like majority of the rest of the match. But Roman comes back with a tilt-a-whirl slam, starts building momentum. Seth hits an insecurity, gets a near fall. Then he hits a super kick for a 2. I hate how I say that. Sorry. So looking like a pretty good match, and looks for the curb stomp, but Reigns countered out of it. He runs the ropes, looks for the spear, but Seth leapfrogged, countered. Then they go back and forth. Roman then hits a 6 spear, and he's going for the Superman punch. Ooh! But Big Show got off commentary, pulled Roman Reigns outside, causing a DQ. Then he threw Roman Reigns clear over the announce table. Sadly, he did not hit Michael Cole. And then he just basically buried Roman Reigns underneath the announce table. And it looked like Roman Reigns was hurt really bad. I mean, because they went to commercial, they come back, and they still show they showed him on the floor, and Jerry Lawler and JBL looking at him. They had to basically pick the freaking set up, the announce table, I should say. You know. And so I don't know what this is leading to. I think Roman and Big Show will be in the Rumble, and they'll probably have a competition there. Maybe Roman will throw Big Show out, or vice versa. But we'll see. So I gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars. All right. Afterwards, we see Seth and Big Show with JJ Security, Will Mercury, in the back. They're all celebrating, and Seth's very happy. He's all giddy with what Big Show did to Roman Reigns. Then he tells Noble Mercury to spread the word, and says that he's going to do a New Year's toast, doing the cutting edge peep show, and he invites John Cena to the ring after that. So we'll see what happens with that at the end of the show. So I give that 3 out of 5 stars. All right, then we see clips showing of the Bray Wyatt Dean Ambrose feud, Hell in a Cell, leading up to Survivor Series and then TLC. And it was announced that on the first Raw of 2015, we're gonna have an ambulance match, made especially by that guy. No, Boo! Keep this guy out of my freaking studio. No, Mike, get out, Mike, I tell you, get out. Ah! Hey, what's going on, people? It's Mike Awesome. How you doing? I invented the ambulance match, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna put you through the ambulance. Okay, Mike, get out of my studio now. Fuck you, Gilmore. Fuck you too. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how he gets into my studio. I just don't know how Mike Awesome comes back from the dead, and I don't know if he's a ghost or a zombie. He comes into my studio and just ruins my video. I digress. Alright. So that leads into a Bray Wyatt promo. He's inside the ambulance, and he cuts a promo, says that he's taking us to a place where life begins and ends. And he says they have reached, him and Dean have reached a point of no return. And he says that it's too late for Dean. Then he says that they won't resuscitate him because he is already dead. But he has his soul, and he says he is the savior. And a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter were talking about that the end of this promo was like a precursor to what they might be doing with the Undertaker. You know, who knows what if the Undertaker's going to be even healthy to face Bray Wyatt, because you know they want to make Bray Wyatt look strong, and they want to hurt him if Dean Ambrose would wins the ambulance match or whatever, because it looks like he's probably going to anyway. So it was a creepy promo, but it was pretty well done. So I give it 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we see Daniel Bryan with R-Truth and the Usos in the back, and he's going to the ring, so we're going to hear from him after the commercial break. So we come back from the break. Daniel Bryan goes to the ring, and the crowd is still dead. There was a few yes chants. So Bryan says it's an honor to be in the ring for the last Raw of 2014. And he says it's an honor to be in the ring every night, with the fans. He says, who would have thought that a guy from Spokane, Washington, or wherever he came from, I know he's from Washington, I just forgot what city, I think it's Spokane or something like that. He said, who would have thought that a B-plus player would headline WrestleMania? He says, nobody! Except the fans. Then he talks about winning the title at WrestleMania 30, and that he got the opportunity from the fans, and he can't thank them enough. Then he talks about how 5 days after WrestleMania he married Brie Bella, and then everything changed when his dad died, and he couldn't be there for his dad because, he was getting married, and he was still working at WWE. Then he talks about his neck surgery and how the doctors couldn't fix him, and all he could do was sit at home and watch TV, basically since, I believe it was, since April, so it's been 8 months, He had no feeling in his arms. He had multiple surgeries, on his shoulder, and his arm, and his neck. It was a mess. And he says all he wanted to do was be in the ring in front of the fans because he loves wrestling and loves being with the fans in the ring. Well, not the fans in the ring. He says he cheered when Dolph beat Seth at Survivor Series and the Authority home. But he feels sad that he couldn't be there for it when it happened. And then he says doctors still couldn't do anything for him. And then he talked to some friends, and he talked to Edge about his neck injury. How Edge is like, I couldn't do anything more with my neck, so I had to retire. So I was thinking, yeah, this might be the same exact speech that Edge gave, and I was thinking that Daniel Bryan might retire. Then in the back of my mind, I was like, wait a minute, I think he's going to swerve us all. So he says he came to a point in his life where he had to make a tough decision, and if it's worth it or not. And the fans are going nuts. They knew that he was going to say something. He was going to say he was going to retire. And I was like, yeah, I smell a swerve here, bro. Vince Russo style. He says he made a special request just for tonight to make this announcement. And he says, is my career over? And he goes, no! 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 And the fans are going, they're going nuts. And he says, will we be in the Royal Rumble? Yes! 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 So he is the second man to be announced for the Royal Rumble. Now, this really puts a monkey wrench into WWE's plans now. So we all knew that when Roman Reigns came back, that he was penciling to be the Royal Rumble winner, go on to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE title, and we all knew Roman was going to win. But now that you have Daniel Bryan coming back, what's going to happen to Roman? Roman, a lot of people saying that Roman Reigns, it's too soon for him. He needs at least another year. He sucks on the mic, let's put it that way. What's going to happen now? Are they going to pencil in Daniel Bryan to win now? Because that was original. I think that was the original plan for WWE, to have Bryan win the Rumble, go to WrestleMania, beat Brock, and then you might have a program with I don't know, with Cena again. I don't know. But now that Seth Rollins still has the Money in the Bank briefcase, this is, I wrote this on Facebook. I was thinking, it's like, Bryan wins the Rumble, goes on to Mania, beats Brock Lesnar, and he's all hurt, and he's still, is holding his neck from the brutal match. Seth Rollins comes out, cashes in. They have an epic match, almost ROH worthy, because they've had a match in, I believe, a couple matches, maybe in Ring of Honor. You just YouTube it, you can probably find it. They have an epic match for the title, and Seth wins, probably with some chicanery from JJ Security, maybe the Authority, and blah blah blah. Seth wins the title for the Authority, and that leads to maybe something with Sting But I don't know if that Sting Triple H might happen at the Rumble. I don't not at the Rumble. I mean, probably at the night after the Rumble that'll probably be announced, but we'll see. But that's just what I'm thinking it might happen. I think Rollins is gonna eventually cash in at the Rumble, not the Rumble. At either the Rumble, he might even do it if maybe Seth could win the title at the Rumble, face Bryan. Who knows at this point? But I'm getting a little excited for what's gonna happen. But I know that the YWC is all in an uproar. They're like marking out for Daniel Bryan. I knew this. I kind of saw this predictability a mile away. I could smell it. Then again, it could be my fart, but but I digress. So it's glad to see Bryan is coming back at the Rumble. I just hope he's making the right decision. That's what I'm just saying. We'll see. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, we go to the back, we see Edge and Christian playing their kazoos and doing some random themes. And then Miz and Santa come in and they do the Miz's theme, which is kind of funny. But Miz isn't impressed. And then we see Edge have a Edge puppet. And Miz is like, what's that? Oh, it's my stunt double. So Miz is like, really? So Miz demands a rematch for the tag team titles tonight, and Edge is like, okay, I'll give you a rematch, but it's not for the titles, and it's not against the Usos. So I'm like, yep, they're getting fed to the Ascension. Why? Why did you have to do this, WWE? Why? Then we find out, we go to commercial. So I get that 3 out of 5 stars, by the way. Then we find out that the Cutting Edge Peep Show is going to be on SmackDown with Dean and Bray Wyatt, so that should be exciting to see. Probably not going to do a review of it because I really don't care about SmackDown. Alright, then we get to match number 7, Miz and Sandow taking on the Ascension. This was just a basic squash match. They basically beat the shit out of Sandow. Why, I don't know. Somebody, tell me something here. Baking powder, please. Basically, like I said, they beat the crap out of Sandow. They knocked Miz off the apron. Then he hit the Fall Man on Sandow. That was it. It lasted like maybe 2-3 minutes, and that was it. Good way to kill probably one of your, a good tag team. That's why the WWE Tag Team division sucks. Big, fat monkey cock. But I digress. It is what it is. This video's going on, but I don't care. Alright, after that, we see Seth Rollins in the back with JJ Security. Walk into the ring, and then Renee Young comes in, ex Seth. You're kind of chippy, Are you really, have you lost your marbles of having seen this in the ring? And then Seth says, well, I'm in such a good mood. I'm so chippy. I want to invite Brock Lesnar to the ring as well. I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna get exciting. So I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. So we get to the Cutting Edge Peep Show with Seth Rollins, and so we start off with Edge asking if something smells funny. Maybe Christian farted. I don't know. Christian says, yeah, it does reek in here. It reeks of awesomeness. Yeah, jump in the toilet. What? Anyway, so they introduce Seth, and Seth Rollins comes out, and Edge and Christian think Seth is chipper and wonder why he's that way. So Seth says it's an honor to be in the ring with him. So it's basically sucking up to Edge and Christian, mentioning the TLC matches with the Dudleys and the Hardys. I'm like, wait a minute, they mentioned the Dudleys? What? He says without them, that he wouldn't be in the ring with them right now. He wouldn't be a wrestler. Yeah, okay. More sucking up. So basically sucking up to them. He says he's had a great 2014. He says he built and destroyed the Shield. They won Money in the Bank. They came to face the WWE. And right now it is the future of the WWE. He says Cena, Bryan, even... actually, Christian said that Cena, Bryan, even the Reverend Slick had a better year than him. What did Slick do? What? Nice to hear his name, but, he's a job so bro, and he ain't talking about the friends. Whatever. I forgot the lyrics. And Seth says, well, I didn't come out to reflect on the past and my accomplishments. He says, this past month has been really bad since the Authority was gone. And, he wants to go into 2015 as a new Seth Rollins. So he calls out the Big Show to the party and Seth says, "New year, new us." So then he calls out John Cena. So Cena doesn't come out like a pussy. So Edge says that Seth is failing because he doesn't have charisma. Kind of I guess a knock on Christian, I guess. So Seth says he's better than Edge, but Edge denies that and says he couldn't even pull off a live sex show with a Big Show. I don't want to even think about that. So Seth tells Cena that he didn't want to bring him out to propose a toast in 2014. He wanted him to come out and get something from him. Yup, he wants the Authority back. So he calls out Cena, and Cena doesn't come out again. So Seth says Cena is forcing his hand. He has no choice but to force his. So he knocks Christian out with a briefcase. Probably has another concussion. So, and then Seth and Edge have a stare down, but Big Show and JJ Security all surrounding him. I'm like, oh boy, this ain't gonna end well for Edge. So then Big Show grabs him by the throat and pulls him down. It looks like Seth is gonna curb stomp Edge's career to hell. So Cena finally comes out, but Seth's like, don't you step one more foot near the ring, or I'm gonna break his neck. I'm gonna kill him. So Cena's like trying to get in the ring, and Seth's like, trying to dare Cena to get in the ring, and then Seth's like, bring the Authority back, give me what I want, and then Cena's like, eventually had no other choice. He gets on the mic and says, I'm bringing the Authority back. So I'm like, yes, that's how you con Cena, baby. Loved it. So Seth's all happy. He's like, wait a minute. No, I'm not. Says, I'm gonna still kill Edge. So he's about to go for the curb stomp on the briefcase and kill Edge, but Cena comes in, knocks Seth down, and he beats up JJ Security. But the Big Show comes in, knocks Cena out, which is always nice. And then a curb stomp to Cena, and you know how Cena had to basically sell it. He had to jump like an idiot. So that was pretty good. So they celebrate, and then we see Brock Lesnar come out with Heyman. They shake hands again. Heyman and Seth shake hands. Then we hear the Authority theme song, and we see Triple H and Stephanie come in. I'm like going nuts. They sip champagne to end Raw. So the segment was great. I gave it 4.25 out of 5 stars. But it still was a sucky Raw, but I still gave it 7 out of 10 stars. If you don't like my rating, then you can go fuck yourself. So, I gave 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you thought of Raw. Comments down below. Leave me questions for Q&A number 14, probably after the new year. You hated Raw?
I hate Raw.
Why?
I don't know.
That makes no sense. Do you like Daniel Bryan coming back, though?
I hate Raw.
That's it? That's all you're going to say? You hate Raw?
Yep.
Yep. Yes!
Yep.
Yes!
No.
No. Whatever. Alright, so leave me your comments down below. Follow me on Twitter. All that other good stuff. I know it's almost 50 minutes of randomness, and I apologize for all that. And if you don't like it, well, fuck you!
I don't like it.
I know you don't like it. You don't like anything. Fuck you. So leave me any questions you have for Raw. What you thought of Daniel Bryan's return to the Royal Rumble. The Authority coming back. I know a lot of people are going to hate it, but you gotta have to learn to live with it, as Ric Flair said. So, it's a good way to send Raw out, I guess, with a bang, if you will. So we'll see what happens in 2015, with the Authority back in power. Maybe we'll see better Raws next week, heading from next week on, I don't know. We'll see. So, thank you all for watching this long-ass video, and if you don't like it, well, fuck you. Subscribe to all my channels down below. Subscribe to this channel. Send me questions for Q&A 14. Or you can send me in for TGC 100. I'm still taking questions up until tomorrow night at midnight. So,
Why are you screaming?
thank you all for watching. And it's a lot of screaming, so I'm going to end this video before I get yelled at. So, thank you all for watching. Have a good night. Peace out. Rock on. We'll see you next year. Peace.